I saw the reference you're making. Firstly, I can't swim that well, so I was really impressed that I managed to win a medal in the Olympics without training. I'd like to thank my coaches and the Australian swim team for getting me this far. But yeah, if there was a biopic about his life, I don't really know much about him. If there was a biopic about his life that was an interesting story, then I'd get in the pool and start practicing with my armbands on and try and prepare well enough for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chad. Next we have from GMA News Online, Rai Takumi.
Yeah, so from About a Boy to Weather Map, your other biopics, your filmography tends to be a bit more speculative fiction and pop culture, like you're with Kristen Stewart and your role as R. So is that a conscious decision to take on unusual roles? You said something about not being a good swimmer, so how was that scene in A Single Man? Like, how did that play out?
So the scene in A Single Man, we actually had a big tank up on the beach in Malibu, and Colin and I would take turns jumping into the tank and then filming us and running into the ocean. It was actually very liberating to film that. It's kind of quite a familiar thing in film, like people breaking loose and running into the ocean, but it was a very freeing feeling. And then in terms of trying to do varied roles and work, that's the main aim for me. I think outside of trying to work with good people and tell good stories, as much varied characters and styles of films and stories as I can play, then that's what the main aim is. Because I would get bored if I did the same thing and repeated myself, and I think anyone that went to watch a film that I was in, if I just did the same thing over and over again, they'd find that boring as well. So as much as you can transform physically and emotionally for whatever it is, then that makes a big difference. Thank you for your question.
From Philstar Online, Matthew Olivares.
What's up?
Hi, so you're playing J.D. Salinger for a Rebel in the Rye, is that correct? Why is it entitled Rebel in the Rye, and how did you, what processes did you go through to prepare for the role, since J.D. Salinger is described to be very reclusive?
The film's called Rebel in the Rye. Obviously, it's a play on the title of his most famous novel, Catcher in the Rye. But also, he was a very rebellious character in his youth. He got kicked out of quite a few schools. His writing was very much against the phoniness of the world that he saw around him, and that's what lit the fire within him for him to go out and write what he felt were truthful, honest depictions of the world and characters that he saw around him. So that's why it's called Rebel in the Rye. And in terms of preparation, it's difficult because there's no videos or audio of him that exist that we could find. So it was a lot of reading biographies about him, reading his novels alongside those biographies, and because a lot of his work is quite autobiographical, his writing, even though they're fictional characters that he writes about, they kind of stem back to his life. And then basing decisions on how to play him around that. Luckily, Danny Strong, the writer, wrote a brilliant script that's very tight and had wonderful actors to work with, so that obviously makes it a lot easier. Aside from that, and like an emotional level, I would like sit at home on a typewriter writing stories, just to try and understand what that felt like as well. Thank you.
Now from Onta Cultura, Mara Kabatbat.
So, hi, Sir Nick.
Hey!
So, you've received critical acclaim for your role in About a Boy. Ever since that role, what kind of learning process did you take in order to improve your acting craft for the subsequent movies up to the present?
Since About a Boy, in terms of improving the acting craft, I think it's mainly about the people I've been fortunate enough to work with. So each role, stands a different challenge.
So you played Beast in X-Men. Did you read a lot of comics to prepare for your role? And if you did, which one was your favorite?
If you prepared for the roles by reading comics, is that
Yeah,
right? A lot of comics, and
And which one was your favorite?
which one was your favorite?
Which was my favorite X-Men comic?
Yeah, and did you read a lot of like which titles did you read to prepare for your roles?
Oh, I liked reading about the First Class comics and also the Dark Beast comics. I enjoyed a lot as well. I enjoyed the darker side of that character. Yeah, in terms of preparing for X-Men, obviously it was quite last minute. My casting in that originally was when we were meant to be shooting Mad Max. So I was in Australia and then Mad Max got delayed. So I called my agents and I said, I need a job. And they said audition for X-Men, quick. They were interested in you, so I put a tape down. And the next day was flying to London to audition, and then back to Australia straight away. And then before I knew it, I had a job and was on set. So in terms of preparation, there's obviously physical training for playing superheroes. Not that I could quite achieve the desired effects that they need. They have to give me a muscle suit, obviously. And then, yeah, read a load of comics because he has quite a distinct way of speaking. He's a very eloquent and intelligent man, and obviously is very, very smart in the sciences as well. So it's a lot about reading the comics, trying to gain what you can from that. And then in terms of movement as well, and his relationships to the other characters, that's something that I've really enjoyed developing through the films, is Hank's relationship with Xavier. Because James and I are really good friends outside of filming, and I think that's something that we've been able to develop through the movies as well.
Thank you so much from Ozine. Ozine, is that right? Ozine. Ozine Brian Uy.
Okay. He said it's okay. Okay. Among the different movies you've starred. Okay, fine. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, say it. Among all the different movies you've starred in and the different roles you've played, which one was your favorite?
They all vary. I have favourites for lots of different reasons. I really loved playing J.D. Salinger because I loved reading his work and learning about his life. It was something I didn't know much about his personal life before that, so learning about that was fantastic. The role in Mad Max was a favourite of mine because it was very big and wild, and I got to really invest in that and give a strange performance, I think. And then outside of that, I really enjoyed working on A Single Man, the X-Men movies. I don't know, I love lots of different films for different reasons. Equals was a great experience working with Kristen and Drake DeRemus because their methods were something I hadn't experienced before, lots of improvisation, and we became a really close-knit group. So lots of different reasons for different things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Now we move on to from Fanboy Seo, is that right? Earl Manga. Earl.
What's up, Earl?
What's up? I'm just gonna have this one start. Okay, so you've been casted as the Beast, but let's just say that you've been casted for another role. Pick your favorite one from these three: Magneto, Professor X, or Wolverine.
Oh, that's tough.
Sorry for that one. I know it's tough.
I know, yeah. You know what? If I had to choose between those, the thing is, because I know all those guys and they all do such wonderful jobs in each role. I think I'd probably go Magneto. Yeah. Is that unexpected? Not. I love what Fassbender does with it, and I think that's what makes me drawn to it. I don't think I'd ever be muscly enough to play Wolverine.
Just a small follow-up. What do you think would be your best characteristic to play as Magneto? Your best move to play as Magneto.
The best moves?
Yeah. What makes you ahead of them? Just in terms, if you're being casted as Magneto.
I think for him it's a lot about the stillness and the depth within the hurt which is his power. That's what he harnesses. And you know, as seen in the films with Xavier and himself, him trying to actually find peace and calmness makes him more powerful, and it's more tricky to use that instead.
Thank you, Earl. Now from Philippine Star, we've got Phoebe Marquez.
Hi Nicholas, I saw in your Instagram that you play Pokemon Go. How is that going? And then another question is, if you could be included in another pop culture franchise which is not X-Men or Mad Max Fury, what would it be?
Okay, Pokemon is going terribly.
What level are you at?
I'm level 13. It's not very good. I know.
Okay.
Oh, I'm Team Mystic. It's like, great, no. Team Mystic, level 13, not very good at all. So I've kind of fallen off playing a little bit recently. I found it difficult to find new Pokemon since the update. Yeah, there's lots here.
Yes, there are. Okay, end of interview, thank you.
Thank you. And then pop culture outside of Mad Max and X-Men, what would I like to be involved with? Oh, that's tricky. What are the options? Are there any options?
Star Wars or Marvel, DC.
Yeah, I think Star Wars. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Okay. Now from ABS-CBN Online, we got Sheila Reyes. Right over there at the back.
Hi, Nick. How do you feel about Hugh Jackman leaving the X-Men franchise after playing Wolverine for over 10 years?
I'm very. It's sad, you know. I grew up with him playing Wolverine. I think the first film I saw him in was when I was 11 years old, and it was a very surreal moment for me when we were on set, and I would look across and I would see Hugh Jackman and Wolverine across from me. That was like, it filled me with a very strange feeling from my childhood, but also immense amount of pride and awe of him. He's also such a wonderful guy, and a really cracking sense of humour, and we had a lot of fun working together. So I miss the fact that we won't get to do more movies and develop that. But I'm also just thankful for all the wonderful work he's done through the franchise. I think he's just been phenomenal in that role, and I feel very fortunate to have been around it, but also been able to be a fan and see him bring it to life so brilliantly.
Now we move on to ABS-CBN News TV and Ginger Conejero.
Hi, welcome to Manila
Hello,
today.
thank you.
A couple of things, just because is it a coincidence that you're on level 13 and on Team Mystic, or is that something that is that by choice, or is that a coincidence, the name of the team that you joined?
Oh no, I like the colour blue. So I didn't know much about the team.
No other reason. All right, can I get into my real question? Actually, you mentioned earlier you got a chance to go around Manila. Can you maybe expand on your impressions of Manila and the Philippines in that short amount of time? And yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, the first impressions were I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how vast Manila was. I didn't realise flying in you get a sense of how big the city is. So that was impressive. I didn't know how humid it was going to be, and I didn't know how extreme your traffic was. So those are all things that I was warned of and then got to experience, which were great. I haven't managed to eat too much of the food yet. What's the egg thing?
Balut.
Balut. Yeah, I've been told to try that.
Yes.
I haven't yet.
Are you ready to try it?
I don't know. I don't know. Everyone says it's an aphrodisiac, but I'm kind of. I saw pictures of it, and it looks a little bit disgusting.
You're not supposed to look at it. You're just supposed
Just
to.
close your eyes
Yes.
Okay. If
Look
I build
away and just put it in your mouth and enjoy.
I'll see. If I build up the courage, then I'll try that. But I just enjoyed walking around the city yesterday, and we also took I forgot the technical name, but you know when you have the horse and carriage.
Kalesa.
Yeah, we rode on one of those yesterday, myself and Joe. So we're having a really great trip and getting to see a lot of the city, and then we're going to go around a couple of the islands as well. Philippines. Nice.
One of the 7,100 islands. Just one of those. Okay. So now we move on to business
Also,
world.
side note, I'm really glad that basketball is such a big sport here. Yeah, I went to buy one of the jerseys yesterday of the Filipino basketball team. So
I'm sorry, Nick, can you repeat that, please? You're a big fan that...
I'm a big basketball fan, and I didn't realize that was such a big sport
It's
here.
huge,
Yeah,
it's
so I'm
huge.
really glad, and I went and bought a Filipino jersey.
Was there a name on the back of the
It was
Philippine jersey?
it's somebody junior, number 3.
Number 3. Okay,
Anybody know that?
So it's
Google.
Filipinas
Yeah,
jersey.
yeah,
Is
national
that
team.
number 3?
Number 3, somebody junior.
Gabe? No, okay.
They said he was a cool guy in the store. So.
We'll look it up. Let me know if you want to go to a basketball game. We can hook you up while you're here.
Thank you very much.
It is the sport here.
I used to play it growing up. So.
Oh, well, you have the height. Even if we don't, we still love it.